Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net, and this is your look ahead on Saturday the 21st of May. Thanks again for watching, and of course, because it's a Saturday, that means that the look ahead is a roundup of the weather around the globe at the moment, and our usual look ahead as well for a few weeks. Now, this forecast is available to non-premium members, but if you're not a premium member yet, you can become so now. Just go to weatherweb.net and you'll see all the information that we include there, which is all your videos, your musings. We've got the 1-minute weather schools, and this week we've been particularly busy because we've had the June 2016 forecast going out and also the summer forecast, and we've been talking about autumn, winter, and believe it or not, summer 2017. So loads to fill your boots with. You can have a free 3-day trial as well. Click on Premium Member, and if you choose to pay monthly by PayPal, you'll get a free 3-day trial, or you can sign up with a 6-month and a 12-month membership, which will give you a discount on those monthly fees. So come on, become a member, and you can fill your boots with weather every day of the week. Now, as I say, we've been putting out our summer forecast during this week and our forecast for June. This was the forecast that went out for May, and actually it's not proving itself to be too bad. Across much of England, Wales, eastern Scotland, we went with the idea of a mixed start, then unsettled for a while. Better in the middle, which is what we've seen, but then leading into a mixed end to the month. Rainfall around normal, temperatures around about average. So actually, that's not turning out too bad. Also, Western Scotland Island, we talked about an unsettled start, but getting better as the month progressed, with rainfall about 80 to 100%, because we thought that that high would build up towards the north, which is what it's basically been doing, and temperatures holding above average. Temperatures probably a little bit lower in our prediction than they've actually turned out to be, but overall May not shaping up too bad. Now, these are the precipitation anomalies for the last 5 days, the global precipitation anomalies. And you notice how Scotland, Northern Ireland, Western Ireland are drier than average, or have been during the last 5 days. Wettest areas, southwest of Portugal, around Switzerland, around northern parts of Italy, running into the Balkans, and also northern parts of the Black Sea have been very wet as well. Across the other side of the Atlantic, southern parts of the states, parts of central Canada have been dry, but conversely, southwestern parts of the states have been rather wet. Temperature-wise, this is the model month to date. So this isn't based on actual temperatures, it's based on model predictions of the month to date. And you see here so far, UK, much of Northern Europe, warmer than average. This cool block still in the central parts of Russia. We've got cool weather across most of the states. It really has been a chilly one there, but warmer than average across Canada. Cooler than average as well across many parts of South America. Argentina suffering particularly. Warm across much of northern Africa, but you see these Atlantic coasts have been cooler than normal, as have been central and southern parts of Europe, including the Mediterranean. Australia has been considerably warmer than average through May. Now, sunspots looking like this. This is the latest image of the sun. A notable spot there, look. Right in the middle disk of the sun, but it remains a fairly quiet period, and actually it's become a little bit quieter as we've gone through the month of May, and in fact this week we've seen this decrease, look, in sunspot counts. So the sun's still at its quiet phase, and as we've been saying, quiet phases of sunspots really loan themselves to more blocking conditions. Now, sea ice looking like this. This is the Arctic sea ice extent from whatsupwiththat.com, and this is the actual for Arctic sea ice at the moment, way below average, which is the grey line here, so significantly less sea ice in the Arctic. Down in the Antarctic, conversely, a little bit more than average sea ice down there, but nowhere near enough to make up for that deficit that's occurring across the Arctic Ocean just at the moment. Now, what was I going to show you? That one, that's what I want to show you. The El Nino is looking like this. These are the weekly sea surface temperature anomalies. Going through from February through until now. And just notice this cool area of water here that develops. That is the collapse away from the strong El Nino that we saw late last year into the early part of this year. That's the collapse away into La Nina, which we've been talking about in the look ahead videos this week, which looks like it could well happen during the next couple of weeks. We actually get into a La Nina situation. This is the month-on-month temperature change of the ocean temperatures from mid-March to mid-April, and you see here how we saw significant cooling across central parts of the Pacific Ocean. But what's ruling our roost at the moment is the cool water that's across the North Atlantic. And this is the latest observations of sea surface temperature anomalies. You see that cool water around the coasts of the UK, extending down to western parts of Europe. What's interesting though now is that we're starting to see this infiltration of some warmer water coming in and across the west here. So we are starting to see a change taking place with the North Atlantic perhaps starting to show some signs of warming. Now what you tend to find is under cooler water, you do tend to find that it lends itself towards higher pressure because of the lack of convection. But when warmer water gets in, you tend to have enhanced risk of lower pressure. So we are certainly in this changeover period from El Nino into La Nina. That's what's making the forecasting so tricky at the moment, and I think it's going to continue to do so as we go through the next couple of months. This is why we've been talking about autumn and winter and spring and summer 2017, basically because if we're in La Nina in those situations, then we've got a clearer idea as to where things might go. It's these changeover periods that really do cause the problems. Now, temperatures for the next week globally expected to be like this, around normal across the UK, warmer across central parts of Europe and across Scandinavia, warming up too across central parts of Russia. The cooler air shifting further east into eastern Russia, going through China as well. Notice how warm it is again across Australia. So cool down across Argentina and the central parts of South America. Finally warming up across northern parts of the states, but still cool across the southern states, particularly cold in the western parts of the states. Canada seeing temperatures hanging around about average for the time of year. The global average coming in at about plus 0.6 degrees, which is still significant. But what is really significant, again, the Arctic temperatures, 2.5 degrees above average forecast during the next week. And down in Antarctica, 0.8 degree temperature increase. So certainly is going to be feeling it's going to be pretty mild across the whole globe. As far as the next few days are concerned, this is the 5-day temperature anomaly from the GFS ensemble. Quite nice, it picks out over the next 5 days, temperatures closer to average across the UK, but just watch what happens. Day 6 to 10, we see warmer conditions coming in. Notice how cool it is across Iberia and Portugal, but across the UK, warmer conditions. Day 11 to 15, staying with above average conditions, and those across many parts of Europe, all thanks to the development of a south to southeasterly wind. Now, for rainfall, that looks something like this. This is the first week rainfall, so days 1 to 7. The anomaly showing up as slightly wetter than average conditions across many parts of England, Wales and eastern Scotland. I think that's going to come in at near normal. Notice drier across Scotland and across Ireland as well. And then from day 8 to 10, so in the second week, this is next week, showing near normal rainfall across southern parts of the country, but well below normal across the north as high pressure builds. Just look how wet it is across central parts of Europe. And I think this is going to be a typical chart actually from the coming week. This is the CMWF prediction for Thursday. Low in the heights down here, high in the heights up here towards the north of Scotland, and effectively this trough affecting much of Western Europe, bringing up these south to southeasterly winds, higher pressure across the north, hence the reason for northern parts of the UK being dry, but the south suffering from that showery rain, and a real big trough here across eastern parts of Europe, glorious in the Med, thanks to that ridge that you see there, and it will be pretty warm in the Mediterranean as well. Rainfall for the next week across Europe looking like this. This is total rainfall. You notice the focus, it really is across the central parts, parts of eastern Scandinavia as well, but some real heavy stuff affecting central parts of France and across the north of Portugal and across the northern parts of Spain as well. And the CFS seeing things like this. This is the week 1 forecast from the CFS. We've got trough down towards the southwest, of course, which is what we've seen. Higher than normal heights towards the north. This is our easterly flow, as I say, the south being wetter than the north. Week 2 looking like this. The high trying to get its way a little bit further south, centred off towards the north. There's the trough to the south. Here's the easterly flow coming in. Again, it's the southern half of the country seeing most outbreaks rain, but drier up towards the northwestern areas, seeing some glorious spells of sunshine. And then into week 3, hints that right at the beginning of June, trying to get the high built in. So trying to get a north to northeasterly flow across the country. Dry conditions getting in as far as the CFS is seeing things. And then into week 4, from the 11th to the 17th, the high slips off towards the east. We pick up more of a south or southeasterly flow. Showery bursts of rain again, with western areas tending to be wetter, but the east tending to be drier. Now, you'll know from the month ahead preliminary forecast we've gone for was the idea of being mixed during those early stages of June, probably improving in the middle of the month and then going more unsettled. And that's really where this is taking us. But of course, we're developing that forecast all the time. So that's just a sneak preview as to what we have been up to. Okay, I'll leave you with that for now. For WeatherWeb Premium members, don't forget you've got access to the fast forecast, which is going to give you the detail for the next 2 or 3 days, updated every day. And you've got the 2-week planner, which is more of a traditional forecast going forwards for the next couple of weeks. For those who aren't members, you can join now. Go to weatherweb.net. Click on the premium member link and it gives you, down there you've got various different subscriber options, and it basically lists for you a convenient table telling you how much it is to join WeatherWeb and enabling you to join straight away from that page. So look forward to welcoming you on board. But I will leave you with that for now. Whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining and bye for now.